That day, the deaf will hear and the eyes of the blind will see. Once I sat beside a blind but attentive beggar. Just by the sound of the coin dropping into his can, he could correctly decipher how much it was. Or just by the feel of the paper money, he could tell a $1 bill from a $5 bill. God is great. Lacking one human sense, blind people have a more developed sense of hearing, feeling, smelling, tasting, or even touch. And today's gospel presents two blind men following Jesus, crying out. They might not have seen the Lord, but their better sense of hearing led them to him. And when Jesus entered a house, and they approached him there, and two good things opened their way to the heart of the Lord, who appreciated their efforts. First, their humility, born of a desperate search for a better life, and their simple search for him. And second, their uncluttered faith. Uttering Son of David showed their recognition of who Jesus was and gave them a chance to ask for help. These blind men in the gospel today knew what they wanted from Jesus. They acted by crying out loud in faith to Jesus for help. Do we know what we want from Jesus? What are we willing to do? Are we willing to go to him and tell him our needs? Do we truly believe he will answer our prayers? According to a story I read in Paper Pulpit years ago, an old lady who had no money to buy food prayed, "Dear Lord, please send me a side of a bacon and a sack of cornmeal." Over and over again, she prayed the same prayer again aloud. And one of the town's unscrupulous citizens decided to play a little trick on her. He dropped a side of a bacon and a sack of cornmeal down her chimney, and it landed in front of her as she knelt in prayer. Jumping to her feet, she exclaimed, "Oh Lord, you have answered my prayer." And she went all over the town telling everyone that good news. And this was too much for that man who dropped the food down her chimney to hear all people speaking about it. He ridiculed her publicly and said to her that God didn't answer her prayers, but I did. I sent the meal. Well, the old lady replied, "The devil may have brought it, but the Lord sent it." Well, we are reminded during this season of Advent that God does not always answer prayers the way we think he should. The Jews who were waiting for their promised Messiah thought he would come as a king, reigning over an earthly kingdom. When he came as a babe in a manger, they didn't recognize him. In their blindness, they brought him to the Romans to be put to death. The measure of how great our faith is in that little babe in the manger, whom we await now, can be seen in the effect of our life on those people around us.